Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to my stream again. So, I have Charles Xavier's wheelchair here. Last time on stream, I was working on this wheelchair and I removed the original wheels and replaced them with these ones here, and I painted over the silver plastic too. I think it's done now. It looks pretty good at a distance, but not so much up close. Let me see. I miscalculated, and you can see that it's not a perfect fit. But it is okay. Overall, it looks good, better than the original. It has that chrome finish to it now. And it kind of has the same vibe. You know, it's not obviously not the same chair, but it looks decent enough. And let's see what it looks like with Charles on it. Not bad. You know, I can see it looking like the hover chair at a glance. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's decent, not amazing, but the wheels do kind of work. But since I'm not really gonna roll around with it, it will be fine, like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now, and I'm gonna build Cerebro. I think once Cerebro is built, you won't really look at the wheelchair, so it should be okay. So with Cerebro, I want to capture that distinct look of it. It has a very long walkway with the little circular platform at the end. Let me show you what I did to design it. I had to shrink the walkway down quite a bit due to size limitation. I can't have it extend all the way out. But I think overall, as long as I capture the overall look, it should be fine. And I'm going for a mix of the Cerebro from X-Men 1 and the one from the later movies, because I like the white light, the lights that go along the pathway in the newer movies, but I also like the circular lights on the original, so I'm trying to go for a blend of the two. And obviously I gotta have the door there too. That's very iconic. I can't miss that. Yeah, so I think if I can nail the overall look of Cerebro, then I should end up with a pretty good Cerebro display. And speaking of displays, I have the marbles display here. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was rewatching the marbles last night while I was falling asleep. And I quite enjoyed the movie. I know it's not the best MCU movie out there, but I went in with no expectations, so I wasn't being nitpicky, and I quite enjoyed it. It helps that I already know the overall plot of the movie. I think the issue with the movie was that there were so many new concepts and ideas being brought in, but there was like no time to develop anything. So as the audience, you don't retain any information. So I think that's why the movie was so underwhelming. But it was a fun movie, I agree. Kamala was great, yeah. But this time I actually find that I wanted to know Carol and Monica so much more. Because Kamala is so well developed, I already know her backstory, I know why she's behaving the way she is. But I couldn't understand Carol. I feel like they skipped a Captain Marvel movie. Like they did a recap on what happened in between the first Captain Marvel and Endgame, where she went and destroyed the AI and actually came back to visit Monica's mother during the blip. But it was so quick, you don't actually feel anything. And another thing I kind of missed the first time was that they mentioned that all the warp points were made by the quantum bands. I thought that was a really interesting detail. It expands the MCU lore. So does that mean Kamala can open portals too? And this time around, I actually really like Monica. They actually did a lot of setup for her, but again, I feel like they skipped so much with the backstory. Like, how did she train at all? How did she master her power? Like, all these things were things I wanted to know, but they kind of glossed over them. And they kind of, I know she's a scientist, but Monica, but they used her to explain everything. Like, it felt a little too expository. Like in the finale, she just randomly went, "You gotta shoot me with your powers and with both of the bands so I can close the portal from the other side." It came out of nowhere. And I was like, how did you figure that out? And we just watched our band explode too. Like, how do you know it won't hurt Kamala? The bangers can time travel to different countries, so Kamala can probably make portals. Yeah, I think so. But then wouldn't that be too similar to America Chavez's power? There are too many portal people now. I feel like if they added, when I was watching the finale, I feel like if they added 10 more seconds for Monica to try and close the portal from the 616 side, only to find that she has to go to the opposite side, that would have been clearer, instead of her just going to the other side directly and saying she has to be on that side to close it. Like, everything was just happening too quickly. Like, there was just no time to digest. But overall, the movie was fun. I do think there were a lot of new concepts. The idea was fun, but they rushed it too quickly. And these figures aren't that bad either. My only complaint is that these figures didn't come with accessories. Monica was the best out of the three. But I wish they came with like a blast effect, but they didn't, so I had to make my own. I do like how this turned out, but I don't like that I lost a good open hand now. But she looks much better with the blast effect. The Kamala figure, Miss Marvel, is interesting. She looks like her, but also doesn't. And they totally could have given her at least one fist. Just something, but they didn't. Oops. Oops. Oh no. Stay. Okay. And with Carol, this suit actually grew on me. I quite like this suit now. I like the more simplified version of this suit, but I don't like the second suit she wore in the movie. I don't know why she changed. But I'm glad they actually made this figure instead of the other one. But I wish this was the final suit instead. Because this does look good. Yeah, I think if the movie had a bit more time to explain everything, it would have been better received. Oh, can't forget Flurkin. This was a fun little thing to paint. It turned out surprisingly good. What I missed? Not much, I'm just recapping my feelings towards the Marvels now that I'm watching it again. It was a fun movie, but I really feel like they rushed it. But I hope the MCU will get back on track now. I was looking at the Multiverse Saga timeline. I feel like if you take out certain projects, the timeline would have looked more cohesive. The first three projects were WandaVision, Captain America, and Loki. Those three were fine. They were the aftermath of Endgame. And then Black Widow was weird because it did not progress anything. But if you only look at the projects where multiverse was involved, like Quantumania, the Marvels, what else is that? No Way Home, Loki, then the Multiverse Saga seems to make much more sense. Like there were things happening that could lead to a multiversal war. But because it was sandwiched between Moon Knight, Thor, Black Panther, Black Widow, all these other projects seemed to go nowhere. It just made the whole Phase 4 and 5 seem so disjointed. Oh, Shang-Chi. Even Shang-Chi's post-credit scene was teasing something bigger. So they would tease something only to kind of go back in time or talk about something that's kind of unrelated. I think that's why Phase 4 and 5 don't feel as good as 3 and 4. But hopefully Deadpool 3 will get things on track again. Anyway, I should go back to today's main goal too. Let me put this aside. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Oh, there are also some clear plot lines like the Young Avengers build-up. Yeah, there's so many little things that they've been teasing, like the Young Avengers, even like the whole Eternals plot. They've been teasing so many things. Nothing's actually happening. But what's happening is Cerebro. Where's my wheelchair? Let's build Cerebro. So I already cut all the pieces out because I want to skip the boring stuff and get right into the more interesting bits. So this is going to be the main terminal area. This is going to be the walkway. It's a very short walkway, but I want my display to fit into the IKEA shelf. So that's kind of the maximum length I can have it. So let's start gluing. One more look at Charles before I take him away. You're seen with the wheelchair. Alright. Now let's fold and glue. Magneto definitely didn't build this. It's made of paper, not metal. Yes, it's to stop him from ruining the X-Men. Fail safe. Stream clocking at 12:40. So if I was the I wanted to do this stream earlier. I also wanted to set up all the other elements first, like the reference images and stuff. That takes longer than I expected every time. I'll try and stream earlier next time. I'm still figuring things out. I don't know how to do a poll on this software here. I'm using a software to stream with my camera, but I don't see a lot of control on setting up a poll and stuff. But I was gonna poll you guys, do you customize your figures? And if you do you paint them or do you do kit bashing? Is that what it's called? The first Marvel Legends figure that I actually customized, I think I mentioned it a while ago, was the Far From Home Spider-Man figure. The one that was really orange, that came with no accessories. Oh, you just painted your Wolverine. Nice. How did it go? I think I'll paint Wolverine next after I build Cerebro. But back to my first, I guess, customized figure, Marvel Legends figure. It was the Far From Home Spider-Man figure, the integrated suit, no, the upgraded suit, the very orange one. I hated how that one looked. It was bright orange, the web lines were not painted, and it had a glossy sheen on it. And I Googled or YouTubed to see if anyone did anything to it, and I found this video on with this person using a pen to do the lines, and then he did a matte spray on it. So I followed that tutorial, and that was my first, I guess, custom figure. But I used the wrong spray. I don't know if it's the wrong spray. I used this spray. I bought it from Home Depot. It was the brand with the letter R on it. For some reason, even though it said it was a matte spray, it dried really glossy. I panicked and did another coat. It dried even glossier. I think I did a third coat. No, anyway, but so ultimately the web lines were there, but it ended up being still glossy. That was my first, I guess, custom figure I did, and that was, I guess, back in 2019, I assume, before I started the channel. But back then it wasn't my plan to paint all my figures. It was just that one that I did not like. Yeah, I think it could have been a defective matte spray. That is why for years I didn't use a matte spray and was using a matte varnish instead, until more recently, where I finally found a better matte spray. I got traumatized, right? That is why when you watch my videos from the early 2020, you will notice that I don't do any finishing coats, because I didn't want it to end up glossy again. So these white areas here are supposed to be the light from, let me show you, it's this one, yeah, from the newer X-Men movies. I like how those lights look. In the original movie, they didn't have those light strips. They had circular lights that go down the runway. Maybe add LED strips. I'm not a good electric engineer. I don't know how to add LED lights to my displays. And then I had to figure out the power situation. I do think it would help some of my displays though if I can add a light to them, but I just don't know how. Which head sculpt are you using? I'll be using Patrick Stewart's head sculpt. I'm not connected to James McAvoy's Professor X as much. I feel like Patrick Stewart is much more iconic. And it will go well with Wolverine 2 if I do have Wolverine on this display as well. Okay, so let me do this end. I feel like this would be much easier to do if I could 3D print it, but I do like the aesthetic of these paper models. I like that DIY aspect to it, and I don't have to paint too, I just have to fold and glue. So there are pros and cons to these paper models. Yes. The con is I have to wait for it to dry, and because it's made out of paper, I have to be strategic with the structure and the number of polygons for each model. Are you looking forward to any figures coming out this year? What new figures are coming out? I don't actively follow the news because I think FOMO will hit me and then I want everything. So I usually wait till they're already on sale. I already ordered the Carnage figure, so that one I'm excited about. But I'm not gonna get the Venom one because I like the one I have already. It looks like the exact same figure but with the small Venom heads. Oh, then that reminds me. How should I phrase it? What figures do you collect? Do you collect all of them, or do you try and restrict yourself to certain waves or certain brands? When I first started, I was like, I'll only collect the MCU ones. That way it's manageable and I know exactly what figures to get. But since then I've expanded into a little bit of DC, now more into the animated ones, and now I'm starting to really feel the effect of over collecting. I still have a little bit of room, but I want to be more selective when it comes to the figures. That is why I get a little bit disappointed when the heroes in the movie get 2 new suits and the toy, and they only come with it, and they only release one or the other figures. I mostly collect Marvel figures, but I want to dip into the AFX toys lines. And when the new DCU starts, I'm gonna get Superman figures from that. When you say you collect Marvel figures, do you collect the comic ones too? When I look at those ones, those are very overwhelming. There's so many of them. Which is good for me, so I can stop myself from buying every one of them. Because they're just too many to choose from, so I end up not getting any. I did see the Odin figure. That one looks pretty good. That one does not look like a Marvel Legends, but I won't be getting it, because then I feel like once I start collecting comic ones, I won't be able to back out of it. I will just fall into that hole. Comics and movies, but only some comics like X-Men and Avengers. Okay, cool. So my next question is, do you collect the same characters multiple times, or do you only try to get the ultimate look for each character? Because that's another issue that I have. Like, there's so many Spider-Man figures out there, and it seems like there's always a version that's better. So I feel like I'll regret it if I get one but not the other. Set this aside and let it dry. This goes on top. Okay, one thing that's another con for these paper models is that sometimes I don't remember like where the pieces go. I kind of have to figure it out as I fold and glue them. But I think that's the way. Yes, I also have the Spider-Man problem. and a bit of a completionist for my figures, so I do collect multiple figures of the same character. I see. Yeah, that completionist side of us, I feel like that will take over quite easily. Like back in 2020, my mindset was still like I would only collect my favorite MCU characters like Wanda and Iron Man, maybe Captain America. But skip to 2024, I feel like I have almost most of the characters now, most of the MCU characters now. Like I have to get the whole set. I need the whole gang. But then they would switch they would get new outfits in the next movie. So then I feel like, now I have to get the new figure. It will never end. Oh, so do you think, I feel like this is gonna happen in the movie. Deadpool's gonna get a new suit. I don't see them retaining the Fox suit for the entire movie because it's Disney and they wanna sell more toys and they wanna create a new look. When buying Marvel Toys collectibles, I generally either get characters that I don't have or different outfits for my favorites. Yeah, same, that's what I tell myself too. But I end up with more all the time. Have you seen the trailers? Yeah, have you seen the trailer? He gets the new bright red suit from the blue. But isn't that still the same suit, just brighter? I feel like he's gonna get a redesign again by the end of the movie. Because it is the same, it has been the same design for 2 or 3 movies now, right? We gotta add more adjacent lines to our suits so we can sell more toys for the next movie. Yes, I really feel like that's one of the more important things for each movie. When at the end of Thor 4, when he came out with that black version of that suit, I was like, there it is. The mandatory second suit for the lead. That will not show up in the next movie. I'm glad Sam Wilson is gonna wear his white suit in the movie, but I am pretty sure the blue one is the final one at the end of the movie. They need to sell more toys. And they already sold the white ones, even though it looks much better. Cooler. That blue suit was jarring. Are you talking about the Thor suit? I did find it too vibrant at first, especially the toy version, the Marvel Legends toy. it was bright yellow and blue. But after I painted it gold, it did look a lot better. Still not my favorite suit, but it is eye-catching. But we all know that's not going to be his suit when he shows up next. He's going to wear something different. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I just need to connect these two. But I want to wait for the glue to dry here first. I don't want to mess this up. So let me see, what else can I work on? What's this? What is this? Oh, that's this. Okay. Yeah, it's a shame I thought the Falcon and Winter Soldier costume was perfect. Yeah, I agree, that suit looked really awesome. It's the perfect blend between the comic style and the MCU style. Oh yeah, the inside out Spidey was so unnecessary. Yes. Yeah, even I rewatched, because they released the extended version of No Way Home on Netflix. I watched that one. Even, yeah, that whole flipping the suit inside out plot was not needed. He did not need to do that. It was clearly a marketing toy thing. Oops. Okay, the platform's coming together quite nicely. I have to do them in sections so that to allow the glue to fully set. And then leave it for now. This can't really see. Yeah, look. I can see the final version, but I have to wait for the glue to dry first. Otherwise, it'll fall apart. I saw it in cinema twice. I love the extended cut of No Way Home. It might be my favorite or second favorite Spider-Man movie. I did enjoy the extended version. I read that it was only going to be one extra scene, but there were actually quite a bit of extra footage, and I did enjoy it. It did not feel like... It felt like It feels more like the original cut more than the extended cut. I'm going to glue this on. So because this is made out of paper and I want Charles to be able to sit there, I need to reinforce the structure. So I did use my laser engraver to cut out MDF boards to kind of go underneath it to reinforce it. Which should work if my non-calculations are correct. But I need to wait for the glue to set a bit more first before I glue these pieces on. I have these to go underneath. Yeah, I want to glue these underneath it. Does it fit? Yeah, like that. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? I started building the Cerebro with starting with the platform. It's going okay so far. Just waiting for the glue to dry before I continue. But here's what it should look like in the end. But I need it to dry first. So I'm going to put this aside for a second. Let me work on something else. So I have the door. Put this away, let it dry. So let's do the door now. It looks a little funky, but oops. But this is the frame that goes around it. So let's start with the frame. I have another question for you guys. I know my channel mostly focuses on Marvel's action figures, but I like making things outside of that too, and I sometimes feel like they don't really necessarily fit my channel, or the process is too quick that I might, or too long. Either way, it won't fit my usual content. So I'm thinking maybe I can do those live instead. Like one of my earlier videos was my Metal Greymon or Greymon and Metal Garurumon display for the first Digimon movie. I wanted to make an Omnimon display too, but I never got the chance to. I think I have the Omnimon figure that I haven't built yet. Would that be something fun to do on stream, or is that too boring, like building a model kit? And for those who who also customize their model kits. Would acrylic paint work on those, or would the paint just seep onto the gaps and exaggerate those gaps more? Because I don't love how white it is. Maybe I want to make it more dramatic looking, but I'm worried that maybe acrylic paint isn't the best medium for it. I feel like those models are meant to be airbrushed. Because I do have a few Digimon model kits I want to build, but I can't figure out if I should do it on my own free time or should I do it live instead, because it could be very boring to watch. Even this whole gluing and cutting process, I realize nobody wants to watch me cut for 20 minutes, so I think doing it beforehand is better. The gluing process is okay, it takes a long time, but at least you get to see the progression. Where did this piece go in this? Can't tell where this goes. Okay, I think I got it. I'm less interested in the content of that I will watch because you're fun to listen to. Am I? I don't know. I'm still trying to learn how to talk more instead of talking in my head, if that makes sense. Because it is a little weird, I guess, saying my thoughts out loud instead of keeping it inside my brain. I guess that's what live streaming is. Okay, let's see. Where did this go? Here. Okay. So this is, what is this? Even I'm confused. Wait, why is this so small? What are you? I think that's the door frame. Oh, okay, there we go. That's the door frame. I see, okay. I think doing it live is a great idea, even if so people are interested in things like Digimon, for example. You could treat a Q&A kind of like this, how you engage in comments. Yeah, hope so. I hope so. I personally don't find myself that interesting, but I can see it working like a Q&A session. But I also am not good at talking and multitasking. Like, I'm good at multitasking in other aspects of life. Like, I can think about my next project while I'm painting or whatever. But when it comes to talking, my brain kind of just lags. And I feel like I keep talking too softly, because otherwise I feel like I'm yelling at no one. but I should speak a little louder, I feel, and not make random noises. Let me switch my glove. I think my glove's dirty. It's leaving in weird residue. Switching gloves. Okay, right, there we go. Hopefully, yeah, it's a little bit. I got a little bit of mark there. That should be okay. You should. No one will see it in the end. Out of all the Marvel movies, Fox, Sony, Disney, etc., what is your favorite Marvel movie? In the MCU, I want to say The Winter Soldier, Cap 2, The Winter Soldier. I feel like that was the movie that made me fall in love with the whole universe. Oops, direction. This tab should go on this side, because I did like the first Iron Man and the first Avengers, but I didn't enjoy. I think I fell asleep watching the first Captain America, and he did look a little silly in Avengers. But the Winter Soldier elevated Cap's character and Black Widow's character. I really liked Black Widow there. Out of all the universes, I also enjoyed Days of Future Past and Logan, but those aren't. I think I still like Winter Soldier a little bit more. And there's so many. Which Spider-Man movie do I like the most? I think I like them equally. I don't have a favorite Spider-Man movie, because I like different aspects of each one. The first one was special, but I don't love the Green Goblin there. Not because he wasn't great, but like I hated the Green Goblin as a kid. The second one was pretty good too, but I think I prefer the first one more just because it was the first Spider-Man movie. Out of all the universes, I'm gonna stick with Winter Soldier for now. Because it felt like it was a blend of genres. It wasn't just a superhero movie, it felt like a thriller. I think that's why I liked it. Oh, why do I still have this here? What's your favorite? Yeah. Days of Future Past is probably my favorite superhero movie of all time, with some of the scenes like the Quicksilver kitchen scene being some of the best super media. Yeah, Days of Future Past was really well done. I really like the concept where they're blending the two generations into one. It's the extended, the rope cut, somewhere out there on the streaming platform. I haven't really watched the rope cut yet. I wanted to check that out because I remember reading that Bobby and Rope were more involved. But at that time, the X-Men Fox universe was in such a dark place. I thought that cut wasn't going to be great, but I think I want to check it out now. What is this piece? Where do we go? Hey. Got confused again. Does this go here? Did I do it backwards? I think I did. Oh no, I think I did it backwards. Did I do it backwards? I did. Uh-oh. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me check my reference. Okay, I checked my file. I think I did this backwards. No wonder it looks so strange. Let me see if I can undo it. Like it's supposed to flip the other way. It's supposed to go this way. Hopefully, oh no, I might break it. I might have to redo it off screen. Right here, this was how it's supposed to go. Oh, okay, that's okay. And then like that. Okay, I'm probably gonna reprint this because this is all messed up now, but I want to play around with this more so I don't mess up the second time. Yeah, okay. Alright. So let's maybe go back to the platform then. I think the fluid pretty much set. So now let me glue the board onto it to make it sturdier, reinforce it. The board should be hidden after everything is done, so I don't need to paint it whatsoever. It's just going to be hidden inside the structure. Let me just lay an even coat of glue first. So here's the board, and here's the platform. It should be the right size according to my calculations. That's pretty decent. Just need to hold it down for a bit. Which Quicksilver scene is the best? The one where he got shot by Ultron. No, just kidding. I like obviously the Days of Future Past one was great, but I also liked the short segment between him and Apocalypse. I thought that was pretty cool too. The fact that you're able to make all this cool stuff in only a week will always amaze me. Very great job, Ken. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sometimes I'm surprised too that I am able to have something made in a week. But I do kind of plan ahead in my head, usually. So what was I doing? When I was finishing the animated display, or when I was coming up with the idea for the animated Danger Room display, I was trying to think what else I could do for the live action ones, and I realized I should save the Cerebro for the live action one and keep the Danger Room to the animated ones. So that's when my head started thinking about what I could do for Xavier, because I wasn't gonna do anything to him originally, but as I was building the Danger Room, the ideas started growing, and I could envision it in my head. And then that's how this idea came about. The challenge was to figure out how to make it structurally sound. Pretty good so far. Let me glue the rest of these tabs. What's your favorite MCU phase? I think phase 3 is the most enjoyable phase. That's where Guardians happened, right? And Far From Home and Ragnarok. Civil War. Was Civil War part of phase 3? Yeah, those were great movies. Like back to back to back. Oh, Black Panther too. Infinity War is phase 3 as well, and I have the phases all mixed up. Is the Infinity Saga phase 1 to 3 or 4? 3. I feel like phase 4 was long, but also went by too quickly. And nothing really happened. Okay, let's do the other side. Guardians 2 Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, and later Avengers, along with the other stuff. Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ragnarok 4, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that was phase 4, I thought phase 4 was Black Widow and Shang-Chi. Phase 2 isn't very good. What was in phase 2? Was the Winter Soldier in phase 2? I think. I did not enjoy Iron Man 2. I remember falling asleep to that movie multiple times too. Okay, so here's the platform so far. Let me glue this final piece. Okay, now that we're talking about the phases, do you think they should reboot the MCU after the next Avengers movie? Because it does feel like the actors are getting old. Like when I was watching the Marvels, I was wondering the next time we see Kamala, how old is she gonna be? Because right now she's still playing the teenager role, but if we don't see her for another 3 or 4 years, will she still be a teenager, or has time gone by too much that we should focus more on the younger actors? Well, even though Kamala is a young actress. What I mean is like Thor, the next time we see Thor, maybe he'll start to play a more mature role. Did I miscalculate? Perfectly. Oops, I miscalculated a little bit. It sticks out a bit at the end. I think the door should be real high like that. I think that Secret Wars should soft reboot like in comics. I don't think it should reboot as there are so many comic characters yet to be introduced and could lead to the MCU. looking back at phase 2, it's actually not that bad and has some great entries with turbo stuff. About rebooting, I think one issue they will encounter is actors not wanting to reprise their roles. Like what happens if, let's say Zendaya isn't available anymore? Like, do we get a new MJ, or do we pretend she's left the city or something? Because the list of actors involved grows every year, and because everything's supposed to be connected, we expect certain people to be around all the time. But in reality, that's not going to be possible. Again, have you ever thought of using custom 3D printed heads for your customs? Not yet. Alright. Because I usually want to use what's already there. Because I find that with some head sculpts, they are actually not that bad. It's just the paint job that's underwhelming. Like the Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield heads. Out of the box, they look okay, and I can see why other people would want to get custom heads for them instead. But I like the ones I painted. I thought they actually did a pretty good job capturing the sculpt. It's just the paintwork. So normally, in most cases, I find that I can fix them myself with the original heads. And if I do get 3D printed ones, I feel like then I'm wasting the original heads. That's just my thought. But I'm not against the 3D printed heads. I think those are great. Well, she says she has forgotten Peter, so MJ might not be included anymore. Oh, I liked her a lot in the home trilogies. The chemistry was so good between Peter, Ned, and MJ. And I feel like there aren't that many MCU couples left anymore. Jane died. Pepper is not there anymore. Peggy is dead in 616. Vision is dead. Who else is there? Christine married somebody else. There aren't that many couples left. Like, I'd like to see you make something completely custom, like a Marvel Legends Superman and Batman. I don't know how you feel about DC, but I'd love to see that. Oh, Gamora died too, yeah. I don't know about the fully custom figures yet. Maybe one day. Right now I feel like I'm not there yet. Because I do sometimes see people fully customizing figures. Like, I've seen some of the Wolverine ones. They look really cool. But right now part of me feels like I should wait for the official figure Because that's something I learned, I guess. Hold on, let me bring her in. When I did this Scarlet Witch, I was so happy with it. But as soon as they actually released the official one, this one ended up being shelved on their own. Because I prefer the official version over customized version in the end. Scott still has Hope now though. Yeah. That reminds me. I wish they did more with Hope. For once I liked her character, but she barely did anything in Quantumania. But I read that Evangeline Lilly said she's done acting. Also, are you looking forward to Agatha all along this September? Yes, I am. I watched the trailer and I really like it. I like the concept where this time it's a mashup of the horror movies or something. The only thing I really want for that show is to have it actually be connected to the bigger universe. I think we're all tired of seeing little pockets of realms or worlds, but not actually connected to the bigger story. So I do hope they can somehow tie it back to Phase 5. Okay, so let me try and glue this part now. Now that I've got the platform there, but this is hard. Maybe I should do half first. Let me do this half and see how it looks. Oh boy. The Fantastic Four, I have a couple, but it's new one for the MCU. I read that I was listening to the Marvel podcast, the official Marvel podcast, and I think Kevin Feige confirmed that it takes place in an alternate universe or alternate New York. So it makes me wonder, are we only gonna see these characters once or twice after the movie? Like, are they gonna go back to their own world, or are they gonna stay with the 616 crew? I'm trying to glue this. Focus. The Billy Wiccan thread will hopefully link to Kamala, Cassie, Kate Bishop. I'm looking forward to when the young Avengers finally properly team up. Would you want to see Kamala's adventure of gathering all the young Avengers? Or do you think they'll just pop up as a team already the next time we see them? Oops, my camera went to sleep. I really love your paint jobs, man. You've inspired me to paint a lot of my figures. I love how you do cell shading to paint the X-Men illustration. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that I've inspired you. That's partly why I started the channel. Because like that Spider-Man Far From Home video I saw back in 2019, I think, I realized there weren't that many, not necessarily tutorials, but just videos on what people do to their figures. Or if there were videos, they weren't filmed, they were filmed with like a webcam or something, so the quality wasn't the best. So part of the reason why I wanted to start the channel was that I wanted to have videos where I can let people know it's not super scary to paint figures, or there are things you can start with first and slowly, I guess, get better at it. I'm not sure you remember, the first ones I painted on my channel were the Quantum suits, Hawkeye and Black Widow. Now, they weren't great, but it was a great learning experience. It really eased me into the next figure. It's 2 AM for me. I think I'll head off in about 10 minutes. And this is looking amazing. But oh no, okay. I'm sorry to keep you up for so long. But thank you for joining the live, and I really appreciate it. And I hope it's not as boring as it was last time. Maybe Kamala could show up at the end of the show's film starring the other members. For once, I think if they do a Disney Plus show of Kamala just going around the world gathering her team, that would be fun to watch. Like a fun little adventure of her trying to persuade others to join her. How you say they weren't great, but I've never seen a bad custom for you. Do I have a bad custom? Oh, there are some figures that I wouldn't say I dislike, but because I feel like every step is important. If I messed up, I learn something from it, and then I won't repeat it the next time. That Loki figure from season 1, I wish I did a better job at it. I don't love how it turned out. But I also think that's because the original figure wasn't great too, so... But if I could redo that one, that would be great. But I'm also not... I'm not super proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it, if that makes sense. Like, it was a learning process. quantum suit should have been more tailored to each Avenger. Yeah, I like the War Machine suit. I like that he got a different one, but nobody else did. Yeah, there's really a lack of YouTubers who do what you do. You're one of the best at what you do. Thank you. I do think there are better customizers out there. There are people who do airbrushing, and there are some who can do really detailed work. But I see them on Instagram more. They're not necessarily on YouTube. Which is fine, because the process does take a long time, and you know, if I could prioritize, I would prioritize painting over video editing. Gotta go, guys. Enjoy the stream. I'll make sure to watch what I missed. But before I go, when is your next stream? I don't know when my next stream is. I feel like I've probably finished this off stream for Saturday, and then I'll work on the next figure after. So maybe Monday will be my next stream. I'm still trying to figure out a schedule that works for me. I want to go earlier, but then I want to make sure I have enough reference images prepped or a topic to talk about before I start, and then that takes up more time than I expect every time. But Monday should be my next stream. I'm so glad to be living in an era where Marvel Legends has really good sculpts, and there's YouTubers like you who show painting process. Yeah, I actually do think the Marvel Legends quality has significantly improved. I think ever since 2019, their face sculpts have gotten better. They started doing the print tech thing, and then it dipped a little bit during when was it? There was a period where the figures were all orange-red. I think when Thor 4 was out. But recently, I do think the quality has improved again. Okay, I know those figures aren't recent, but the Quantum Mania figures I really think are one of the best MCU ones they've made. Even the new Carnage movie figure, I thought the sculpt was good too. It's just the colors that were off. They just couldn't resist going back to that orange-red. Green Goblin was great. The No Way Home Green Goblin figure. Like, that figure was worth getting. Even if it's unpainted. Like, it was near perfect. Okay, one channel I really love watching alongside yours is Dino Plastic. He makes really cool customs. You should check him out if you have the chance. I'll go check it out. I don't watch a lot of other people doing their customs. Nothing against other people. I just don't want to accidentally copy people, if that makes sense. So try to avoid seeing what other people do. But I do want to check out your suggestions. Where did this go? What's this piece? This goes here. Okay. He makes a lot of custom from scratch, like sculpting 3D printed heads. Ah, that's cool. And he makes videos too? Oh man, how does he have the time? I think that's, I guess, the one downside to being a customizer is there's not enough time. Like when I was starting the channel, you know, I thought about what kind of genre I want to be in. I figured toy reviews would probably be the easiest to do, but I don't think I can do a better job than the other toy reviewers. So I went with the DIY genre, I guess. And I slowly realized, oh, I don't have time to do everything, especially when my schedule is weekly. Like, I wish I could release more videos, but I can only do so much every week. So I don't know how others have the time to do all the 3D printing, customizing, and editing the videos all in one go. Do you wait for paint to dry manually or do you use a hairdryer? I wait for the paint to dry. Those are the moments I cut out from the videos. I usually paint a layer and then wait for it to dry and paint another layer. I don't use a hairdryer. I don't know if it will affect the finish. Acrylic paint dries relatively quickly, so I don't have to wait too long. If I can wait for glue to dry, I can wait for the acrylic paint to dry. Okay, the platform is coming together. It's almost there. I was worried that things might not go together. The flaps might not fit, but so far, so good. Oh, I jinxed myself. These tabs are harder to hold. Hairdryer is a game changer. It really speeds the process. Okay, I have a heat gun, but is that too hot? Because I can use a heat gun. think so. We should test it first though. And she picked. Okay. Yeah, I'll try. Maybe I'll test it out. I don't have a cheap figure necessarily. Maybe I'll test it on Charles. I don't know if I have time to paint Charles yet. That'll probably be the last thing I do. But if I do, I'll try the heat gun method. It's so awkward to hold. I use one a lot for my customs. It makes paint dry less than a minute. Oh, that's nice. Do you paint with acrylic paint too? I guess sometimes it doesn't happen often, but I do notice that sometimes certain paint dries differently. Like the pink that I've been using recently, it dries really sheer. So if it looked bright originally when I first applied the paint, but it will end up not showing up after it's been fully dried. What other colors? Sometimes colors dry darker too, not all the time. So, but the Cerebro is coming along nicely. I have to do this side. The print's a little messed up there, but this will be my good side. It should be. I don't think you'll notice it too much once it's done. But so far so good. Let me do a quick test to see if Charles, if we can hold Charles up there. Ah, okay. Oh, it looks a little small for Charles, but that's the deepest I could go, I think, in my shelf. If I make it any longer or bigger, it's not going to fit. Like some of you may notice, my displays are always not one-to-one anymore. They're usually smaller. Not that I don't want them to. Actually, yeah. I have two displays that are, I guess, one-to-one scale. The first one was the Stark Tower one I did. I did the whole walkway and the helipad. I loved it, but it was so big that it just won't fit anywhere on my shelves. I have to put it on top of something. It was just too big. The other one that was too big was my Shang-Chi one with Wenwu and Shang-Chi. I also really like that one. It wasn't one-to-one scale, but it's big enough to fit multiple characters. But I find that I have the same issue. I can't put that display in my IKEA shelf. I can't put it in my IKEA glass cabinet, and that bummed me out. So ever since then, I made sure my displays don't go over a certain size, because I do really like how they look in my IKEA display. I have noticed you use a really thin brush when painting small details. Have you ever tried using toothpicks or push pins? I haven't. I've used toothbrush to pick off paint, but not to apply paint. I'm trying to focus here. But yeah, I haven't tried using other tools. I get attached to certain brushes, like you learn their behaviors over time and you know how they will act when you do certain things with those brushes. So I rely on the same 3 brushes all the time, but I haven't yet tried using toothpicks or push pins. They're really handy to use since they have really thin tips. I can see that. Yeah, one issue I have with thin brushes is that one single fray hair bristle would ruin it. Yeah, maybe I'll give that a try next time to do small details. Thanks for the tip. Oh god, my arms are sore. I'm trying to hold this in place. Same. I get so sad when my brushes eventually get worn out. Yeah, I'm still using one of my favorite brushes. Pretty much dead, but I still have it. I still use it regularly, but it's now my rough paintbrush for my initial layers. It used to be so good, but the bristles are pretty much dead. Okay, I need to not touch it because it keeps popping up. Stay. Stay. Oh my god. Stay. This used to be one of my favorite brushes, but I think I got it from Dollar Tree or something. But the bristles are dead. It barely moves. But I use it to apply my initial layers of paint now. I think this is my current favorite brush. I also think I got this from Dollar Tree, but I don't think they sell these small ones anymore. I like how soft the bristles are, and I like the flat edge. But it is fraying. You shouldn't tell. It is fraying. So those little extra bristles always ruin my paint work. Like, I use this brush on faces a lot, and those little bristles would wreck it. Not too difficult to fix, but a little annoying, because I really like that brush. Okay, I look forward to your videos each week, and I've been watching a little over a year now. Thanks for all the comment and entertainment. Oh, thank you. I don't know if I consider myself entertaining, but thank you for watching. That means a lot. Are you gonna fix the Daredevil with cell shading from the pack with Hydroman? I don't have that figure. I don't know where to get it. Besides Hasbro Pulse. Because shipping isn't cheap for Canadians. I keep thinking that those VHS figures would be available elsewhere. I don't know why they have to keep it exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. But if I could get my hands on one, I would work on it, because I do like Daredevil and Spider-Man, the animated series. Yeah, it's really annoying when brushes become like that. It makes it so hard to do things like cell shading. Do you trim the bristles, or do you try and flatten it? I tried using like the hot water method. It works briefly, but they would start to fray right away again. But I don't want to trim them. It feels like I'm cutting them off. Have you ever considered cel shading the Scarlet Spider? Yes, I do. I want to do that eventually, but I need a break from cel shading. And I don't think I am at that level yet, because that specific style is very distinctive. There are a lot of harsh black lines and a lot of... It's very dramatic. And when I'm looking at the X-Men figures that I've done, I realize how reserved I am. Like, I'm still not super confident with my strokes, even though they look fine. Like when I look at Cyclops from the front, it looks like I barely did anything. You can only really see the cel shading when you're looking at him from the sides. So I think I need to be braver, be more confident. But I think I need to mentally prep for that. Kind of like how Spider-Punk really changed how I viewed cel shading, and then it took maybe a month or two before I really dove in to do the X-Men ones. Have you seen the 90s animated Spider-Man or cartoon and Spectacular Spider-Man? Both amazing shows. I used to watch the 90s animated Spider-Man every day after school. It was my favorite show. That was my childhood. And all the toys were always sold out, so I never got the chance to get those Spider-Man figures. So I'm glad they're releasing new ones. But I recently realized they're not super show accurate unless they're from the VHS line. Or is that the VHS line? The one that comes in the box. So I'm hoping they would either reboot the show or release more show accurate figures. Dude, you should cel shade something like a giant Optimus Prime. Sorry if I'm giving you a nightmare about cel shading. Cel shading. Which Optimus Prime was cel shaded? Like from the G1? I don't know if I want to do Transformers, because I don't think they would be transformable at all after being painted. I have Beast Wars figures though, but for the same reason I don't want to paint them. Even though I don't transform them anymore, but I don't want to, I don't know, it feels weird to paint the Transformers knowing that it will affect the transformation. Okay, the platform is, I guess, halfway done. I just need to do the runway now, which I did off camera. So this piece would go here, but I'm not going to do that yet because, well, first I wanted to do the door first, but I messed up on the door, so I have to do that sometime off stream. But the main challenge is to have this platform up in the air, because it will look stupid. It looks silly if the Cerebro is just on ground level. That doesn't make sense. It has to be elevated. So I do have, I did this before the stream, I do have like a support made. It's gonna go in here, but because it's made out of paper, it's not gonna hold the weight. So I also made this wooden support. I glued everything together. It should hold the weight. Actually, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. So here's the platform. Hold on. So here's the platform, and then it will sit on top of this, but because it's made of paper, I have this structure here that would go inside of it, so you can sit on top of it. And then I'll hide the support with these pieces. Now I didn't really do, like I didn't design it with precision. I only kind of estimated how things would go. So I guess my next step now would be to glue this onto the base. I need some support. Second. So I need to have something wedged underneath this. So what I also did was I cut a bunch of extra pieces here to kind of add to the support. I don't know if they'll fit. So first, okay, let's glue this first. So this will go somewhere on here. Something like that. Let's hope this works. I imagine the weight of the chair and figure would topple over this plate. Hope I'm wrong though. Don't curse it. I'm worried too. But usually things work out for me. It works out for me this time too. If it doesn't, then I'll have to put Professor X further back over here instead of all the way out there. But I think I can get it to work, hopefully. So now I need to this will go here. So this bit. So I designed, I guess, the paper parts to be a bit thicker, so I can hide the little support. Oops. So I can hide all the support stuff inside. I can add this little triangle. Add more glue there. White glue is surprisingly strong once it's dried. So I hope this will not break on me. Maybe see. Yeah, that should work. Just have to wait for it to fully dry. Like, should I add more? I should add more. I do have these smaller triangles. Add. Just have to make sure it doesn't interfere with the structure. So let's see here. Add a little triangle there. And I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Right around here. And then I just have to wait for the glue to dry. And then once it's fully dry, I'll glue the other pieces so then I can hide everything. So you can't really see it. Yeah, so and then this will hopefully fit. here. Missed it. Oh. It's falling apart. Emergency. Okay, I shouldn't touch it. Should let it do its thing. So maybe I'll end the stream here, because I can't really proceed until the glue is fully dried. But it's working well. I think I can get it. I think it'll work out in the end. And I do have one more plan, like plan B, to secure the structure so that it doesn't topple over. Let me go grab it. I do have a floor piece. This is pretty much the same graphic I used for the X-Men animated one. But what I'm thinking is I'll glue this support beam onto the board, so that way it won't be too front heavy. Let me show you the rendering I did. So I thought about adding that sphere to Cerebro as well, because I feel like that's part of the iconic design, but it just doesn't look right, and it's way too big to fit into my shelf. And I feel like the sphere actually shrinks up it makes it look smaller. So instead, I think having a floor piece makes more sense. So this is how I'm seeing the final version with the Cerebro, the terminal at the end. So if I glue that vertical beam onto the floor, I think it should be able to support itself. So that's my plan. But until the glue has dried, I can't really do much for now. So maybe I'll end it here. He's patiently waiting for Cerebro to finish. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for now. I don't want to touch it anymore because it's gonna fall apart. But thank you for watching. Yeah, fingers crossed. I hope I will have the video finished by Saturday, and you'll get to see Professor X in the Cerebro. And thank you for joining. I think I'm getting better at live streaming. The internet hasn't cut off yet, and I'm learning to talk a bit more and interact with chat more. Thank you again, and stay inspired, and I'll see you on Saturday. Bye!